welcome to another episode of SEO Presso. My name is Björn Darko and today I'm speaking with Monika Faseth and she is Head of SEO at Wayfair Europe. Hi Moni.
Hi.
Because of Corona we don't shake hands.
We hugged each other before, so not telling anyone.
Can you tell us a bit more about the SEO structure at Wayfair?
We are divided in two different areas. We have the American area where all the websites taken care of in the Boston office with a much larger team than here, and we are a little bit smaller here, taking care of UK and DE, on page and off page.
How are you integrated in the overall business?
Basically right now, everything really about the European side we are taking care of here, but we have the engineers sitting in the US, on the US side. So when it comes to tickets or bigger structural changes, we're working together with them, but we're really lucky because we have a dedicated SEO engineering team, so we don't have to fight with other channels about tickets. And
that's amazing.
It is really amazing.
And it's very rare.
It is. I'm really happy. I mean, we still have to fight with the US about our ticket time, but otherwise they really understand SEO. They know what they're talking about, and also when we share information with them, they know why and something is important, why not. So our sprint is every 2 weeks. We do have a lot of preparation for the sprint, so we do have a pre-grooming meeting where we discuss before we want to put tickets in about certain initiatives we want to run. We have discussions about the hypothesis behind that, about how we want to measure it, about the ideas, about different options, how to implement it in the end. There is also a BI team dedicated for that, so they help us with that as well. Also about when we think about something, introducing something new, we always want to test. So we're thinking about the testing setup. We never really roll out everything at the same time. We just say, okay, we have an hypothesis, then we decide what kind of URLs we want to test, and then we have a test and control group, and everything is explained in the sprint, in this pre-grooming meeting. And then we have a grooming meeting where we already have the already edited and done tickets and discuss that with the engineers about how much time do we need, if they're able to do it. So basically this is our sprint, and it sounds complicated, but in the end it's really helpful for all of us because then everyone is kept in the loop and everyone knows what we are talking about.
And you can moving really fast.
Yes, exactly. When it comes to implementation, it's also for this kind of big company, I'm kind of surprised how fast this kind of structural changes also happens.
You already told us a bit more about the structure, but you in Europe, you and your team, for what are you responsible on the page?
Everything was just on the page. So basically when someone wants to change, let's say attribute options, filters, they have to come to and ask us if we are fine with that. We are doing a keyword research saying, okay, please keep the filter or you can change it, or if they merge pages, if they're trying to split up pages, this is something we are taking care of. But we're also thinking about bigger projects. Let's say we think, okay, how can we make the best out of our keyword pages, keyword search pages, and then we're working together with the US team and setting up a structure and testing there. So everything which is done in the UK when it comes to changing the site or changing products, it's actually our responsibility to take care of.
What are the current hot SEO topics in e-commerce?
We still have, I won't say the issue, but the challenge that content still counts, even though it's an e-commerce page. So we do see we're still working well, we're still running well with footer text, even though it's a category page and we just have to think about the actual user intent, which is transactional. People want to buy something, but still, okay, the content, there were tests run by other pages, but also we had not a test on purpose, but we deleted accidentally for a couple of days our footer text, and we definitely see it as out in our rankings. So we do see still that footer texts are working.
How many pages were affected by this?
I can't tell, but a couple of them. It was not all over, it was for certain templates, and we did see a change there.
But enough to say that it really impacted.
Because we really saw, okay, the rankings for specific pages were going down, and we were checking those pages, and those were the pages where the footer text were missing. So I think this is still a challenge also when it comes to mobile first, because still Google takes this into account, this text, but we're also thinking, okay, about the user intent. Do we really want to have this kind of big block text at the end of the page? When it comes to the user and just scrolling through the mobile pages, not the best experience. So I think this is one of our challenges we have. Also the other one is about duplicate content with the suppliers. So we do not have our own products. We get them from suppliers all over the world, and they're delivering also the product text, or as we call it, the Romance copy to us. This is also we have to take care of because, of course, they're just duplicated from somewhere else, and when it comes to product pages, we have to take care and decide, okay, do we want to index that? And our rule is actually if the product text is less than a certain amount of characters, we're not putting them on index, but we don't see then if they're actually duplicating our product text or not. So this is something we definitely have to deal with. And also when it comes to overall changes, I mean, the product team also thinks about, and the brand team, about usability and what makes users happy. And sometimes it can be that the page looks completely different than it's supposed to be for SEO purposes. So we have to also work close together with them. The good thing is that we can ask them for tests as well, so they do run user tests. But if they say, okay, we had like a revenue increase of 70% for those kind of pages, we have to think, okay, how can we change the template that SEO is also happy about it?
You already mentioned it. If we just take the recent EAT update, we see that, a lot of medical sites, financial sites, but also online shops were affected by the EAT update. Was Wayfair affected by it as well? By
a couple of updates, so not especially the EAT update. To be honest, I mean, we have like right now every other month an update, and I really keep losing track because it happens that one update we go up, the next update we go down, and the next update we go up. So
it's a typical pattern, eh?
It's really annoying right now. For the last, I'd say, 4 to 6 months, we do see this pattern. So I really can't tell you if we were affected especially by that update, but we do see that Google is working a lot more and also trying out a lot more and reiterating their search results in a really more accelerated way than it used to be, like I'd say, a year ago. I really feel that there's a reiteration. Google really tries to find out, should this page rank, yes or no? Okay, now we let the page rank, now we don't let the page rank. What is the outcome of that?
How can you provide expertise? How can you provide authority? And how can you provide trust to a user as an online shop?
I would say for expertise, we definitely need more content than just the footer text. I mean, we're really taking care that those footer texts make sense and are really something, a plus thing for the user. But on the other side, we also think, okay, how can we make our blog better? Right now, the blog is not the best. And we're actually running on a project to really get more articles there, more expert articles in the future. So this is what comes to expertise, because then we are also able to cover more the overall informational keywords. When it comes to trust, definitely don't do any shitty things. And of course, we also have to take care about our link profile. Okay, just really checking, okay, is our link profile okay? Are there any fishy links in there? Is there something going on? Also, when working together with affiliates, other channels, they're working together with affiliates. So we have to take care if there's everything set exactly to no follow and everything. So we are really following the Google guidelines. This is kind of hard to approach when we have, like, I'd say right now we're at 10,000 people working all over the place in different areas and deciding different stuff. And we have to really understand, okay, what are the changes really affecting SEO?
Taking Google's recent development into account, on mobile, sometimes there's 60% of the clicks stay on Google for mostly informational-based queries. Is there anything you see in an e-commerce sector as well? Does it impact e-commerce as well?
Yeah, it definitely does, because what we do see in the US, they're using more filters now. So Google also have like filters when you say, okay, I'm looking for sectional sofas. And Google also gives you some suggestions. Okay, do you want to have a brown one, a black one, a green one? And then you're still in the SERP and clicking on the search result, and then the new search result is opening. So we don't get any clicks for sectional sofas anymore. So the overall or CTR maybe is not it's not affected that much for the long tail ones, but for the short head, we definitely see that there is a difference, because Google really tries to keep people as long as possible on the SERPs.
Another thing is that more and more transactional queries, people go to Amazon rather than to Google, right? Do you see that Google does any efforts to make Google actually more attractive for online shops or e-commerce players? Is there anything Google does proactively to make it more attractive?
I'd say when it comes to paid ads, then yes, definitely, because they're getting a lot of money out of that. Also how to show the PLAs, how to show the overall product listings. But when it comes to really organic search, I see that the knowledge graph, the rich snippets, featured snippets, they're taking all over the place, and we're just keeping pushed more and more below the fold. And I do think this is one of our biggest challenges we have.
Speaking about internal linking, I figured, taking a look at our client base, based on my experience, internal linking, especially on such big sites, is a huge potential factor to increase rankings. How do you approach this?
Because it's a really big e-commerce site, it doesn't make any sense for us to manually set links in any content, for example, because it would just be outdated in a short period of time, because either it's a redirect there or the page is not existing anymore. So we definitely have to run a more automatic way there. What we're doing, we have an actual algorithm behind to define pages which have not that many links and also not ranking that well. And based on that algorithm, we say, okay, these pages need to be linked. So this is the thing we are doing right now here.
Very smart.
It has to be automatic, because otherwise manually you get crazy when it comes to big pages. Small pages, of course, you can do that.
Do you look at similarity between categories or products, or is it just like random?
Right now we make the most money out of our category pages and not of our product pages per se, even though they have, of course, the highest conversion because they're already on the product, the user, and then they click and buy. But right now our focus is actually on category pages.
How do you manage crawling and indexing?
So we do have a log file analyzer built here and checking the pages, and we're trying to manage it, but we do face our challenges with certain product pages, certain, let's say, overall page types which are getting crawled more than we want them to be crawled. We just have an initiative, okay, how to put them actually on no index, even though they're still getting crawled, but from our experience, when it has no index, it gets crawled and crawled less after a certain period of time. Right now, we're trying to go on different page types and face all of these page types separately. Just because this is like a big issue when we say, okay, we want to delete pages, or we say, okay, we are aware that certain page types don't have that much value, say 70% of those, we can't just say, okay, let's delete them. We really have to think, okay, doesn't it have a value right now? What is it about those pages in half a year? So we have to set up like a time span to think about, okay, can we delete them actually? Do we have to forward them? What happens with all those internet links? What happens because those pages are getting created automatically every other month? So we have to deal about that as well. So we have different areas we have to tackle when it comes to crawling and crawling budget.
Another question that pops into my mind is seasonality in e-commerce is a big factor. What is the planning process for seasonality-based products?
So we do have a kind of content plan where we say, okay, now Easter is coming, or let's say outdoor season is coming, and we have 2 or 3 months before preparation to make sure that all the pages are set perfectly up for SEO reasons, but also when it comes to content and product pages, because it can happen that we do have outdoor pages which don't have that many products right away, and the content team is still working on that. So we are working closely together with them, and we have like, let's say 2 or 3 months in advance where we say, okay, this is what we want to do. And actually this is also something which is on our plan for the next half year. We're trying really out, okay, how far we have to optimize before the pages, and what kind of time span we have to think of when it comes to seasonal pages. Because it doesn't make any sense to optimize, oh, Easter's coming in a week, let's put some products there, so let's add some text there, and then we're fine, because it's not.
Mm-hmm. So you were working before as an SEO consultant. Now you're working as an in-house SEO, or you're actually heading the SEO department as an in-house in such a big company. What is the biggest difference between both?
So I'd say when it comes to SEO consulting, you're not getting involved that much also emotionally sometimes. So if something is not working and they tell you, well, marketing is not happy about it, so we're not going to implement it, and say, okay, whatever, I can leave it for right now. Which could also be a pain point, because it can be frustrating. And when it comes to here, we have to discuss with different areas. We have to discuss with brand, we have to discuss with product if we can implement certain changes. But the thing is, if someone says no, I just need to talk with people and just ask, okay, what is the reason behind? We do have this kind of discussion basis, and I'm really able to go to the people directly and talk with them and find a compromise.